Alright, we're getting ready to prepare for an alternator output test. You can see here is the carburetor. We've already got a little screwdriver put into our throttle linkage here to keep the RPMs up way up high so we can tell just what the output is of that alternator. We've got our Snap-on 552 machine here again, reading about 14.3 volts, sitting there right now available to the battery, and it's taken about hardly anything for amperage. We want to take and make sure that our amps are on the 120 scale, which is going to be the red scale right here. Either left or right of zero, doesn't really matter. As long as our amp clamp is one way, it'll go to the left. If we move it the other way, it'll move it to the right. And we've got our machine hooked up to our battery, positive to positive side, negative to negative side. Next thing we want to do is grab our amp clamp here, and we've got two places we can hook that amp clamp. One, we can hook it on the back of the alternator on this main output wire right here. We can reach over top of everything, put it right here if we like, or we can flip it to the positive or negative post of the battery. You know those amps have to reach that battery anyway. Since this is the easier spot to reach, we're going to go ahead and put our amp clamp right on that positive lead, grabbing all of those wires right there. Now if we go back and look at our scale, it looks like that battery is wanting to take about 10 amps. We're on the 120 scale, so down here in the red we're taking about 10 amps. We're still at about 14.3 volts. Next thing we want to do is simulate to the alternator that we have a battery that's going dead and that it needs some amperage to get it charged back up. In order to do that, we just tighten this load knob down right here, and it will start to draw amperage, and you'll see our voltage drop. One thing to keep in mind here is most manufacturers do not want you to drop the volts down below 12. The computers in these cars do not like that, and sometimes it'll kill the car, possibly even burn up a computer. So let's load this down. We want to get that down there a little ways. We want to see how far this guy goes. We'll see what our output is, our maximum amperage output of our alternator. Coming up on it here in just a second. There it goes. See, my voltage is starting to fall. I'm at 13 volts right now. I'm down to just about 12, and I'm putting out about, about 85 amps on that alternator. So that alternator, you probably heard it working, is definitely in good shape. It's reaching the maximum rated capacity, which is real good for this alternator. So looking at the scale here, we can tell that the alternator is working just fine.